Hello, this is Corey, and I'm joined today with David Mayer, who has been a client of mine for 7 months as an executive coaching client. It's been awesome. We've had a good time. And then he also brought me down to Orlando in January to speak to his team of 11. And also, we had success and, a great experience. And because of the coaching and the speaking, David was kind enough to say, "Hey, I'll support you any way I can." And I said, "Let's do a video testimony." So here we are. So David, just to help the viewers, listeners, give a little scope of your job title and your responsibilities.
Thanks for having me, Corey. But Vice President, Quality and Operational Excellence, Continuous Improvement for about a $3 billion manufacturing company, global. Team size 11, as you mentioned. We're just responsible for helping drive the cultural transformation and execution of product quality evolution and continuous improvement.
Well, excellent. It's no small job. I think it's like 45 plants that you're overseeing and you're involved. You got a lot of moving pieces. So it's been very fun to be a part of all those dynamics. So David, 7 months ago is when we began the coaching relationship. Kind of what was your before state? Why did you decide now's the time I needed a coach? Kind of what got me here won't get me there. Why was the time you decided I needed a coach? And then also, why did you choose me? I mean, there's a ton of coaches out there. Why did you decide you need a coach and you decide you want to work with me?
Right. Yeah. The short answer is life, right? A lot of things going on, marriage, kids, growing family, expanding work responsibilities. I always, for probably several years, knew that a coach would be a benefit. And over the past 12 months, the organization's continued to grow. Go from a family of two with myself and a wife to now two young kids. Trying to continue to grow and stay steadfast in my faith and following Jesus. And the culmination of those, were really exposing gaps in each area of my life, as I just described, as well as consistency and balance among them. So that was really the before state. Clear opportunities, a real need, and ultimately I couldn't kind of ignore the opportunities any longer. So in terms of connecting and fortunately beginning to build a relationship with you, Corey, it was that balance of faith, marriage, family, and work. Win at home first, obviously, and just building that and building every area of my life. Had been introduced to a few coaches, heard a lot of coaches. Fortunately, my wife connected me with the podcast that you were on, and that was my first introduction to you. So thank you, Miranda, again. But that's really what led to it, is that balance that you bring. All of them are good. Any one of them out of balance is going to be a struggle. And how do we grow in each one of those areas?
No, that's good. Well, I'm glad you chose me. It's been a great ride for sure. And so what's the current state of you? Like what's the fruit that you've seen from the coaching relationship? I mean, we're still in our coaching, right? So it's not like an after coaching, because we're still going strong. But where have you seen that fruit in your life, whether it's at home, it's at work, that you have seen that you are just a better man because of coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. Fortunately, a lot of easy answers to that question. I'll try to hit it from a couple angles. So from faith, you've really helped me continue to incorporate truth in the Word of God into decision making, whether that is wife, kids, or work. It's applicable in every area, and it's the right first step. So that spiritual element has become a better discipline, more of a habit. So transitioning to the wife, this one's a bit more tactical, but I would say it's love dates and logistics dates, bringing structure that many of us have at work to our personal lives, creating space to be organized and effective as husband and wife, and then executing that throughout a week. I know it sounds, I'm using almost business acumen here, but it's applicable, and it creates stability and consistency and clear expectations that have really helped both us one-on-one as well as with our kids. The other one, the next example, I think gets a little more intimate. So I've got a 4.5-year-old daughter, Ellie, and I think your focus on helping me understand that I'm going to find what I'm looking for, and a lot of what we end up pulling out of relationships and situations comes from where our mind is before we're interacting. And so you really help me establish a habit about being grateful and thankful for all of the blessings and beauties of my daughter. And as I've continued to concentrate on all those amazing attributes, I've become more compassionate. I've become more present. I've been better playing with her. And it's translated into a much deeper, intimate relationship, which sounds a little funny with a 4.5-year-old, but I could see the opposite happening previously. And then I'll finish with work. I think as a leader, I thought I was better than I was. I think there's elements and gifts God have given me that allow me to be structured and disciplined, that allow us to execute well and surface opportunities, improve. But I wasn't developing in my team and spending time relationally. I wasn't meeting them where they were all the time. Sometimes I would move through people rather than work with people. And you really helped me on my empathy, leadership, and tying a personal vision to what my role is in my organization with the people that I have the opportunity to work with.
Man, it's actually just really cool just to hear you kind of replay some of those different wins. That's neat. And huge kudos to you, because you implement things, you take action. We have the calls, but you turn around and you go do it. And when we get back together, you're like, I did these things. A phrase that was told to me, and I'll say it again here, is to you, just information plus implementation leads to transformation. You're seeing transformation in these different areas of your life because you're implementing. You're not just, let me hear more from the coach, or let me hear from a podcast or from a book. You're taking it and you're going. So I think that's awesome. So well done.
Yeah, thanks.
You mentioned on some of the leadership gaps from work, and that was one of the benefits is you've closed that gap. You've learned some tools, you learned some tricks through our coaching, and that was one of the reasons you said, I got to bring you down to Florida to meet with the team. Got 11 getting together. What I've learned from you has been beneficial. Therefore, I want to share it with my team. And so kind of just adding to that, David, why did you want me to come down to the team? It costs money. It's a half-day work session. And so what was the reason that you decided to invest in a speaker for the workshop?
Yeah. So, a couple key pieces. You hit the first one. I've seen transformation. I've seen tangible transformation. I would say directly and more tangibly in my personal and spiritual life that has been a direct impact on my professional life. And I felt like, I can't be the only one that needs help here. So let's introduce Corey. Let's take some of his, his communication skills, his experiences, and his structure, and let's introduce it to the team and see if they can receive from it. So that was the first piece. That the second piece is that we're in a growing organization. We're in a fantastic organization, but sometimes as you continue to grow, there's new names, there's new functions, there's new geographic areas, and there's new uncertainty. And I could really see that within the team. I could see that though organizationally we have purpose and we have a vision, that we needed to regroup as a team and put some emphasis and time into each one of our personal purpose and vision statements. And that, obviously, as one of our major objectives coming out of the half day was the introduction into our team vision, that we could create energy around, that we were passionate about, and that was unique to us in the specific role that we have in quality and operational excellence. So that was the real objective. And I thought it would be received, and I thought it was a good idea going in. It was received even better than I expected, and just super excited that we actually made it happen, and getting to see it work for myself and the team.
Man, it was such a neat experience. And 90 minutes into that workshop, I don't know if you remember this, I for sure do. 90 minutes in that workshop, gentleman on your team, Todd, just said, I have been with, I've been in these sessions for 30 years. And it's kind of a dramatic statement and a long pause. And I just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get yelled out and pushed out of this room, and got nervous. And he
Right.
just, with the long pause, and just says, this is hands down the best personal and professional development session I've ever been a part of. And that was awesome. It was great. And I said, please, just tell me more. Obviously, thanks, but please tell me more. But I don't say that to toot my own horn at all. It's not even, it's not all my content. I've learned it from my coach. I've learned it, from the Five Capitals organization. I've just learned things. And so I put it together. But the reason I think it was the best is because companies going forward, leaders going forward, are going to have to bring in both personal and professional, because it's the way of the world now. I mean, we can't leave home at work, or heck, sometimes even work at home, just because they blend together. There are, whether it's smartwatches or smartphones, it's all coming together. It's happening. So I think, and you saw that as a leader. That's why you're like, hey, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to bring in Corey, who's going to talk personal, and it's going to be worth it. And it sure was worth it. And then, the second fun part about that story is, I think because it went well, you invited me to spend the rest of the day with your team, and we got to go to Harry Potter World, which was a blast. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was good times.
Anyways, we did that. That was good stuff. We're about 6 weeks later. Have you seen fruit from it, from your team?
Yeah, so much. We came out of it, set up, every third week one-on-ones between me and each one of my direct reports. And the fantastic part about our one-on-ones is it's 75% personal, individual, with a little bit at the end that's focused on business objectives. But the fantastic part is that personal vulnerability, appreciation for our lives, appreciation for everything going on from outside of work, from parents to kids to family members to friends, to health struggles, is opening the door, creating energy, alignment, appreciation, and unity that I could have never imagined, previous to the session. I mean, me connecting with each one of them connecting together, us connecting as a team. It's nothing I've experienced in any team environment in my career. So I think that's the long answer to the unity, and maybe unity is the word to concentrate on, that's evolved. The actual team vision statement is creating energy. It's creating passion. We're walking in to sessions, and obviously, being in quality and operational excellence, we have the opportunity to facilitate and represent the organization in cross-functional team environments a lot more than normal people do. And we're having a chance to come in and be a light and bring energy, be approachable, with you, not to you, bias for action. These are all parts of our vision statement and values for corporate quality and operational excellence. And I've seen more excitement, and I've seen more offline emails and text messages that this purpose on a bigger picture is just creating energy, appreciation, and delivering better business results with it. So I think that's kind of more of the business end. I think one note, though, is, so I'm on one-on-ones, and this is where it gets even more fun, right? You do these things because it's good for people. Relationships are good with people. And, it's one thing that, some of my team are advancing in different areas of their personal and professional life because of it. But to hear within 3 weeks of the activity that one of their spouses is now coming up with their own personal vision statement because of the change that she's seen in him in 3 to 4 weeks post session, it's just unimaginable. I mean, and it's so tangible, and it's real, and it works, and it's the right thing for me and the team and our families. So it's been fantastic. Can't say enough.
Wow, that is cool. And for that listener or viewer, however they come across this, it's translating as well into KPIs, metrics, correct? I mean, it's not just soft skills. I mean, this is translated into key performance indicators, and you're hitting your metrics.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only staying within the team too. It's creating energy across, you mentioned, over 40 manufacturing sites in the Americas. just through how they're interacting. And that intentionality is bringing more focus, more open-mindedness to areas of development, both in leadership and more practical problem solving and continuous improvement tools. And it's just opening doors. And the fruit that's going to continue to come is going to be amazing, both in business performance, but overall, I think well-being of the folks in the company.
Wow. Well, this has just been fun to relive some of it, because some of this I didn't even know. So it's good stuff. I guess in closing, David, for that individual thinking, they're on the fence. Do I go for the coach? Do I go for the speaker that may, talk about some of these topics? Would you recommend them, hiring me or as a coach or speaker?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, that the immediate, hesitancy is the commitment you have to make financially, either for your organization and personally. And our experience is you couldn't put a dollar value on what's coming from, the coaching, the offline meetings, the formal meetings we're having, the on-site, the vision statement. You can't monetize it. And that was an initial hesitancy for me several of those years leading into this. I'd ask you, hey, push through, give it a chance, right? And it will not disappoint.
Thank you very much for everything, for the business, for the friendship. Appreciate it.
Likewise, appreciate the opportunity.